comments from our general manager, Mr. Rick.
I'd also like to thank everyone for being here. We're here to announce that we have just signed JJ to a 6-year contract extension that ensures that he'll be wreaking havoc on quarterbacks in a Houston Texans uniform for a long time. So we're excited about that. Very, very pleased that we were able to get that done. We're built on successful drafting and trying to retain as many of our top players as possible. And this is certainly an example of that practice. And I will say this: we've been involved in a lot of contract negotiations, a lot of deals. And I don't know if I've ever been in a deal where I agreed as much with the agent as I did in this deal with Tom about the type of player that JJ is, and just the commitment to excellence, the character, the work ethic, the ability, and all those things are just things that are on the field. He's a tremendous asset to our organization, a wonderful ambassador off the field as well, and it's really good for us that we were able to get this extension done. I will turn it over now to Mr. McNair, and I guess I would take this opportunity to really just say how blessed we are to have an owner like Bob McNair who gives us the resources to do the things that we need to do. His commitment is tangible. His commitment to winning a championship and bringing championship football to Houston is tangible, and he provides us the resources and the opportunity that we need to continue to build this football team and build this organization. So, Bob, we're very appreciative of that. And at this point, I'd like to turn it over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Rick. Yeah, I was a few minutes late because I had to go down to the pawn shop and hock my wife's jewels to come up with enough money to take care of this young man. Of course, that's a joke. But we're just delighted that we were able to reach this agreement with JJ. We normally wouldn't do this at this stage, but we just felt that his performance had been so outstanding, his attitude is so great, his work ethic is such a role model for everyone on our team that we felt that he deserves special consideration, and that's why we agreed to look at this situation. And then when you look at his performance, in our view, he's the best defensive player in the league, and we wanted him to be compensated that way, and he is. He's going to be here for a long time, and we look forward to his being the second person that goes in the Hall of Fame for the Texans, and he's going to do nothing but get better. And so we congratulate him on being able to really be a role model for so many people. I think it's safe to say that as a younger person, JJ was not the most outstanding defensive player in the league or wherever he was playing. He worked at it, and each year he got better, and he got better, and he kept working, and he got better, and he got better. And that's a wonderful message for young people to see, that hard work pays off. And he's a perfect example for that. And now he's the best, and he's going to do nothing but get better, because he'll be out there working every day, doing everything he can to improve. So congratulations, JJ, and we're delighted to have you as the Houston Texan representing our organization.
Thank you very much. First of all, I have to say thank you to the McNair family and everything they've done for me so far in my career, and obviously for being able to get a deal like this done. It's truly unbelievable, and I could not ask for a better family to play for. The example that they set both in the community and for our team is truly unbelievable. I mean, their charitable acts, the way they handle themselves with class, and second to none. And I'm so fortunate to be able to stay with this organization for a long time, and I'm extremely proud of that. I want to thank Rick Smith and everyone involved in the deal, my agents, Tom Condon, and everyone at CIA for helping to make this happen. Obviously, from day one, I've wanted to stay in Houston for a long time. And I hope the people of Houston don't mind me sticking around for a little while longer, because I happen to like it here quite a bit. So I'm really excited about this, and I'm very, very fortunate. And the one thing that I can say is that I promise to do everything in my power to work extremely hard to give everything that I have to prove that I deserve this and to prove that I've earned this. And I'm going to do everything that I can do to be the best player I can be for this team, to be the best teammate I can be for my teammates, and to be the best ambassador for the Houston Texans and for the city of Houston. Because I love this city. The people have taken me in as one of their own. I'm so fortunate for that. And I want to represent them, and I want to make them proud every single day with every single action that I make. So I hope they are proud, and I'm going to continue to make them proud. And it's truly special. You know, I was talking to my parents last night a little bit. He's a little choked up, sorry. And I mean, it's a big deal. And it was just cool to think about. We were talking a little bit about Little League football and hockey and the days back playing football with my brothers in the front yard, and high school football, and some of the people that told you you can't do it, and some of the people that tell you you can do it. Teachers, my elementary school teachers, my middle school teachers, high school teachers, coaches, mentors, friends, just the support system that I've had and the people that have surrounded me and helped me get to where I am today is why I'm here. It's not one person. It's teammates, it's coaches, it's everybody. And so that's why it's so special to me. And I'm so very, very thankful and so very, very fortunate. And I can't wait to share it with all the people in my life. Just the text messages I've got, my teammates today, my coaches, everybody saying such nice things. It really gets to you. And that's why you do it. That's why I work so hard. That's why I love this game, because it can create moments like this. And so I can't wait to create more moments like this, because it's a special place, a special organization, special team. And I can't wait to stay here for a long, long time.
We'll now open up for questions, so please raise your hand. Paul?
No, I didn't know.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Jay, you said in Denver that if the time was right, you were going to get involved in the business sense. Did you ever have to get involved in this, or did it never come to that?
No, I think that agents and Rick Smith and everybody involved, and Mr. McNair, I think that they did a great job, and I think it went very well, and I'm extremely appreciative that they believed in me enough to give me this opportunity.
Rick, do you get concerned with deals like this about cap ramifications and flexibility you may or may not have in the future?
Well, a part of the negotiation piece of it is to ensure that we structure the deal in such a way that we protect ourselves as best as we can with respect to that. So, I've got to tell you, Chris Olson, one name that hadn't been mentioned so far is our Vice President of Football Administration, Chris Olson. Chris does a fantastic job of structuring our contracts and managing our salary cap, especially for the future as we move forward, where this deal, it won't impede us from continuing to build this football team into a championship.
You guys are way more quiet today than normal.
You promised that, didn't you, Chris?
JJ, not long ago, you were delivering pizzas and hoping to get $3-4 a run. To think about that and to be sitting here today, how surreal is it?
Pretty crazy, huh? And I think back to my first day when I took that job, and the guy that was training me told me, when I told him that I was just there temporarily and I was going to go play for the Badgers in 6 months, and he looked me up and down and told me I was not big enough to play for the Badgers. And so, hi to that guy. But it's just, it's literally unbelievable to think about, and it's very difficult to wrap my head around everything. I mean, but that's what makes it so special. I think that's why that's what's so motivating to me. My journey, my path to get here, and how hard I've had to work to get to this point, and how hard I plan to work to get here. You know, I'm just not one of those guys that's like, I got it now, I'm just gonna relax. I want to go out there and try and be underpaid. You know, I want to go out there and work my butt off so that I can prove that I'm worth it, and that's what I want to do.
JJ, you've played 3 years, and yet you're the highest paid defensive player in history. What does that mean to you, especially being able to accomplish that so early in your career?
It's crazy again. You know, I'm just a kid from Pewaukee, Wisconsin. You know, a small little town who had big dreams and who worked extremely hard and had a great support system around him. So only to do it so early in my career and to have the team show the faith and appreciation that they have, that's why I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful. And again, that's why I'm gonna work so hard for this organization, for this city, because I believe that's the way you do things.
JJ, when it became real last night, what type of feeling did you have? I mean, you know, some guys go out and party and celebrate. How did you handle that to where you realize, hey, I'm $100 million man, and I mean, you're set for life?
I normally don't like to tell people how I handle it.
I don't know how he handled the immediate time after that, but I know a few hours later, he was in our weight room, because I got a text message from him, a picture of him working out at 4 o'clock this morning. And I've got the proof on my phone.
I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep last night, obviously. I mean, there's a lot going through your head and not like that, so I came in and I figured might as well start earning it early.
What's that? So you tried to sleep for a few hours, like 3:30 or like?
I tried to sleep for a couple hours, and I left my house at 3:05 to come up here. And they had changed our passcodes, so I was locked out. And a cleaning lady had to let me in. I thought they locked me out. I thought they were pulling a joke on me when they did. I was like, this is something else, man. No new deal. I'm not even on the team anymore. But no, so I came up here and did a little workout. The wonderful cleaning lady let me in, so thank you to her.
Rick, JJ never made any threats. He didn't hold out. There was no, didn't use the media to any ill will or sentiments. It seemed like he went about this thing as well a professional as you could be. How much did that play a role in the negotiations, getting this deal done 2 years early, which typically speaking the organization doesn't do? How much was how he conducted himself a factor?
Well, I think it was everything, because that was indicative of everything else that he does. He's a pro, and Tom's a pro, and so we were able to negotiate this deal and to conduct our business in a way that was private, and that's the way it should be, and that's the way that we had requested, and they complied. But he's a pro, and so like I said, that's how he carries himself. Everything about this guy is consistent, and you rarely find people like that, and that's what we appreciate about him.
Rick, sometimes when you have a guy get a big contract like that, the team worries about you might not work as hard. With JJ, I'm guessing that's not a concern. Does that just speak to what he's done so far?
Yeah, it does. I mean, I was serious when I said I don't think I've ever been in a negotiation where literally there was so much alignment with how we felt about the player, and you have to base your feeling on what the future looks like based on the past. Those are pretty good predictors of what you will have, and everything that we've seen from JJ gives us every confidence that he will continue to work the way that he's worked and continue to be as effective a player as he's been so far.
For Bob and Rick, you guys, you've dealt with so many players, and I mean, it's a money game and you have to win, but is this refreshing in a way? I mean, this is kind of what football's supposed to be, even with the multi-million dollars, to have somebody who's in the community and to kind of represent the best of what a pro athlete can be.
And I'll start first. I'll say this: when the owner has to go to the pawn shop, it's a little pressure on me. These deals aren't easy to do. But I will say that with respect to this particular deal, it was it was our pleasure. It was something that if we could get it structured in a way that didn't compromise our ability to continue to build this football team, it was something that we were going to do, and I'm just fortunate and grateful that we were able to get it done.
Yeah, I'll just add that in terms of an organization, you have to take in consideration all the factors and the impact on the team, and so everybody was able to work together and understand that sometimes you defer certain parts of it and you advance something and treat it in different ways because based on the rules there, it impacts what you're going to be able to do going forward. And so you have to have some flexibility, and so that really helped us get together. The fact that Tom and JJ recognized the need for some flexibility there, and enabled us to put together the kind of deal that we thought he deserved, that he had earned, and so it's something that I think is going to make sense for the organization going forward for many years.
JJ, this isn't the first time you've talked about this idea of wanting to prove that you deserve people's belief in you. I feel like you want to prove that doubters wrong, but it almost seems more important to you to prove right the people that believe in you. Do you know when that started? Can you think back to?
I think it's just kind of the way I was raised. You know, the way that my parents taught me to do things was, if you're going to do something, give it everything you have and do it right. You know, if you want, it's just like with the community. If you want the support from the community, you have to be willing to give that support back to the community. If you want fans to believe in you and buy into you, you better be willing to give them everything that you have and give them a reason to believe in you. So that's why I think just my entire life has been about just working extremely hard to make everyone proud. And I mean, my dad was a firefighter. My mom started as secretary of a company and worked up to be a vice president of the company. And that's just, I'm a small town Midwestern kid who, you know, like I've always said, I wasn't poor by any means, I wasn't wealthy by any means. I was talking to my mom last night. We bought some of my hockey equipment and played against sports, you know, a secondhand sports store and things like that. But like I said, not poor by any means, but I get new shoes now, so I get new shoes every week now, so that's kind of a different thing. But it's so cool for me to think about the process and how far we've come and how far everything has transpired. But I'm just so grateful and so thankful, and I'll never stop being that kid from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm always going to be that kid in the back of my head, and that's why I'm going to continue to work.
As a kid from Milwaukee, what are you going to do for your parents now when you get your first big signing bonus? You got plans for your parents specifically?
Yeah, they'll be all right. They're going to be all right. I can't tell you what, because they don't know yet. But the amount of sacrifice that they made for my brothers and I our entire lives, taking us to hockey rinks, taking us to football practices, giving up some of their dreams and some of their plans so that we could have the best opportunities possible, making us hot breakfast, making us hot dinners, sometimes 2 or 3 dinners. Everything that they did our entire lives, they sacrificed their own time and their own energy to make sure that my brothers and I had opportunities. And so for me now to get this opportunity and for me now to be able to take care of them is honestly probably the best feeling in the world you could have as a son. And so I can't wait to be able to take care of them, to be able to tell my parents, hey, if you want to do something, do it.
JJ, you're one of the most beloved athletes the city has ever had. You kind of transcended the franchise. And Bob, I wonder, when you did all your scouting and your evaluations and everything, could you ever have imagined what JJ would become when you drafted him? Because it would seem that he transcended all your expectations.
Well, Rick might have had a better idea than I did. I mean, I was pleased. We saw a hard-working guy, high-motor guy, that we thought would be a steady performer. But to think that he would be the kind of performer that he has been, no, I didn't imagine it. Maybe Rick did, but you know, JJ's just, after the first year, the question was, well, that was his rookie year. He'll probably fall off after that. And then, of course, he stepped it up again. And so, I mean, that's what this fella is all about is, you know, each year he's going to put the effort out there and try to be a much better player than he was the prior year. And he's been successful. He's been able to keep elevating his level of play. And so it's a tremendous accomplishment.
JJ, did you stay in touch with Tom a lot throughout this process, or just kind of stay out of the way?
We talked every now and then, but for the most part, obviously this is going on through training camp, so the biggest focus for me was on my teammates and on practice, making sure that we were ready for the season, making sure that we were getting prepared for everything that we need to do, and helping some of the rookies out, because at the end of the day, that's the most important thing for our organization, for our team.
JJ, from the moment you got here, and even probably before that, your motto has always been dream big, work hard. Can you talk about how this deal right here, this moment, is a testament to that?
It proves it works. I think that this is what Dream Big, Work Hard is all about. The way Dream Big, Work Hard works is it's 2 parts. Dream big, don't ever let anybody tell you you can't do something. Don't ever let anybody tell you why you can't be what you want to be. Don't ever let anybody crush your dreams. But your dreams don't mean anything if you're not willing to wake up and work for them. So you better be willing to do the second part. You better be willing to work hard, make sacrifices, be disciplined, do all these things that everybody talks about. Everybody talks about being great. Everybody talks about making sacrifices. Everybody talks about discipline. But when it comes down to it, and that alarm clock goes off, and it's time to go to work, and it's time to make those sacrifices, and it's time to do the right thing, that's when good goes to great, great goes to best. And that's always what I'm trying to do. And I think that's what Dream Big, Work Hard is all about, and that's why I'm going to continue to live by it.
Just wondering, have you been here in the building since 4 a.m.?
I've been in the building since 3:30 a.m. here, so I'm going to get some sleep tonight. I need it.
Just one more for Rick. Rick, this is a little bit off topic, but we're probably not going to get to talk to you again for a little while. You traded for Ryan Mallett this weekend. What went into that decision, and why did you decide?
Well, we are, first of all, we're always going to try to improve our football team in any way possible, whether that's the waiver wire, whether that's via trade, whether that's via guys that are on the street. But tonight is really about JJ and the celebration of this extension. But to answer your question, that's what we're always going to try to continue to improve our team.
How does he improve your team?
It's about JJ.
I got one more. You're in Aaron Rodgers territory now. It's one thing down here in the big city. When you go back and you and Aaron Rodgers only were interviewing in Wisconsin athletes, is it harder back there to go back to where you grew up and everybody knowing you and Aaron Rodgers got the big deals? Same territory?
No. When I go back to Wisconsin, I am literally JJ, the kid that grew up playing junior pirate football, playing pirate football. The people back there, I can go to a restaurant back home. I mean, I get every now and then back home. But back there, they've seen me grow up, so I'm just a kid down the street. Down here is a different story. Down here it's crazy, and the rest of the world's a little bit different. But Pewaukee, Wisconsin is my hometown. Those people have seen me my whole life. It may be a little bit different now. People may give me a try and pick up their check or something at dinner. But other than that, I have a feeling people are going to treat me the same way because I'm going to live my life the same way, you know. I don't think that not saying I'm going to, but I don't think that if you drive a fancy car, you can't be a good person. And so I feel like even if I do indulge in a thing here or there, I'm not going to change who I am as a person. I'm not going to change the way that I live my life, and I'm not going to stop working hard to be great.
Still going to sleep on your friend's floor next off season?
I'll tell you the honest truth. Money doesn't motivate me. Greatness does. That's the truth. So this is awesome. I'm so fortunate. I'm so thankful. But I don't do this for the money. And I'm extremely grateful that I'm going to be able to set up my family and my kids and everything. I'm so fortunate for all of that I don't have to worry about the money so that I can focus on the greatness. Because at the end of the day, I play this game because I want to be the absolute best that I can be, and I want to go out there with my teammates every single day and try and get better. And that's what's fun for me. That's what makes a difference. And that's why when I was talking to my parents last night, they said, well, how does it feel? And I said, it feels awesome, but at the end of the day, it really doesn't feel that much different because it's not going to change who I am or the way that I live my life. I'm going to go out there every single day and chase greatness.
That's why I got the contract.